That is so many troops. You might actually break through.
I don't think so.
This is cool though that you're sieging down a town that I handmade.
Oh no! Men, stand your ground!
Anno 117 Pax Romana is an incredible game, as I've made clear many times before, and most people will likely first and foremost play it in single player mode. However, did you know that Anno 117 not only offers online multiplayer, but you can play in a lobby with up to 16 players? Thanks to Ubisoft for collaborating with me, I'm able to give you this view into how multiplayer actually is. And spoiler, it's really awesome, and you should absolutely follow my link below to check the game out on PC, PS5 or the Xbox consoles right now. I mean it, you really don't understand how good this is, so let me show you. With me on my journey back to antiquity, I had my friend Dan the Mantis, an actual Celt, join me on the adventure. We chose to add 2 difficult opponents, one based in Latium and one based in Albion. But for added fun, we chose to begin the game in different provinces. I in Latium and Dan in Albion, meaning that we would have no way to reach each other before we had made it to an advanced civilization, perhaps one that would have us meet each other on, let's just say, interesting terms.
Oh, I see you!
Yeah!
Yeah.
Hey buddy!
You're not actually invading me, are you? It certainly looks like you are.
In Latium, I wanted to build a civilization that could give me the advantage on the provincial stage, hopefully making me the player that first reached the other. That's important because if you can interrupt the enemy before they interrupt you, that can spell the difference between victory and defeat. I say enemy, but Dan and I were of course on the friendliest of terms, for now, and had an incredibly chill time developing our separate islands.
I think I've had some sort of, oh shit, yeah, I'm having a fire in my city. No!
Right as we're talking about it. That's what I'm doing right now, is I'm actually moving some of my houses for space for another Phantom.
Another Phantom tax?
I just knew it was coming, but it didn't make it any better.
What you must understand is that Anno is both an incredibly addicting and gradually more and more intense game, but it keeps that relaxing and immersive vibe throughout. This remains in the multiplayer mode, which is the exact same one as the single player one, by the way. In fact, you can play both the campaign and the endless mode with other players. And with others, Anno 117 is if possible even better, since you're talking over chat and vibing while you're building those cities.
The first, albeit delayed, shipment of olive oil and resin is coming to the capital.
Why was it delayed?
People are party. Because someone fucked up the route. We don't talk about it.
I think I know who that someone was.
It was, forget his name is...
I hate that guy.
Be kind.
I mean, I love that guy.
Okay, good. Ding, 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 ding. He's an okay guy.
Yeah, I forget his name though.
He was put on the cross though. You can't make mistakes like that.
He was executed at dawn.
In fact, I don't know whether to be proud or go insane, but Dan and I completely lost track of time and played 7 hours straight in our first session together. The genius thing about beginning in different provinces is that while I could build Roman society as Caesar intended, raising those grand aqueducts and theaters while attracting the likes of plebeians and equestrians, Dan was building a society in the far reaches of the world, among the fog and the waves and the violent mountain peaks. While I was grinding wheat into flour and baking delicious smelling bread, having a fine glass of wine in the sun, and wearing easy breezy togas, Dan was fighting the elements, grabbing eels out of the marshes for so-called food, finding cockles on the rainy shores to fill what stomachs the waiters had left after being malnourished for quite some time. Of course, Dan is also technically Roman. By braving the harsh seas of Albion, he is technically bringing the light of Rome to the Northern Isles. Now we can of course ask ourselves at what cost. But don't fault Dan for his bravery, albeit perhaps misplaced, but I am not one to judge good ladies and good gentlemen. And Dan did do a good job. He turned waiters into smiths and Romano Celts, creating a culture and civilization that was uniquely distinct from mine. He made use of the amazingly rich mud he had at his disposal to create something that looked like houses, and at one point even managed to drain the marshlands that once provided the basis for his food industry. Good job, Dan. I think the absolute best thing of Anno 117's multiplayer and this experience is that it was so freaking cool to imagine that your friend, or at other times, your opponent, was at the other side of the world. And because you don't have access to their side until several hours later, you can only imagine what's going on there. You're both dealing with your own towns, perhaps even expanding to other islands to get that competitive edge. You're both Roman, of course, so you're both dealing with the Emperor in your own way, and depending on the AI rulers you choose, you of course have allies or enemies to fight as well, including your arch-enemies, the Raiders of Latium, who will harass any who venture in the otherwise beautiful waters, or the Celtic warriors of Albion, who will raid your shores unless you pay them off. You're always imagining what's going on elsewhere, always wondering whether this will be the hour when the person on the other end of the line has crossed the ocean. And that's the awesome thing about Anno, because everything, the production, the recruitment, everything runs on a time schedule, including the long journey from one province to another. I experienced this firsthand when, after many hours of building, expanding, charting different islands in Latium, I had gathered up enough materials, expanded my population enough, created the right supply lines to actually create and support both a navy and an army. Why did I do this? Well, I hadn't heard from Albion in like ever, so I wanted to see for myself what life was like up there, and perhaps also instill the fear of Andy in the heart of Dan. My point is that in making my way to Albion from Latium, in other words, in traveling from Andy Central to the Alley of Dan, I had to embark my army, send my ships to the edge of Latium, then wait for them to make it all the way to Albion, which takes several minutes by the way, somewhere around 13 minutes if I'm not mistaken. In single player this is one thing, but in multiplayer this is absolutely crucial knowledge, because in an interprovincial war, you need to be aware of that timing when you are sending your fleet across the ocean, that they will be unavailable for you to use for the next while and certainly unable to defend you back home. There is an incredible amount of strategy behind this fact, and it becomes more and more intense and exciting the more players you are playing with, or even when you're playing against the AI as well. And because I had shipped off my army, I no longer had the firepower at home to fight off the raiders, meaning I was forced to sign a humiliating and costly ceasefire treaty for the time being. But getting to Albion and catching Dan off guard made it all worth it.
Hey, you want to explain that little buzz?
I saved the game.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no.
I gotta do it.
I think
gotta
I know
declare.
what's coming.
Oh my god, here we go.
I need governors who can follow orders to the letter.
Well, I'm about to lose that one, aren't I? What do they expect me to like defend with? I don't have anything.
Where's your army?
Hey guys, you see how you're rebelling? Over there. Yep. My people hate me.
While Dan had managed to create a society on 2 islands, he had not considered building many defenses on the island called Slightly Less Evil Town, allowing my navy and army to conquer it with ease. Did I feel bad? Yes, but my legionaries didn't, and in this economy, getting to pick your enemy practically makes you a bourgeoisie, and as a tribune of plebs, that's just not me. Anyhoosers, the next target was of course his capital, Evil Town, a vast and towering city sitting comfortably at perhaps the most awesome Celtic island I'd ever seen. But Roman arms do not discriminate, pretty island or not. Now though, Dan was a tad more prepared, having built formidable defenses around his core.
It's not gonna go well for you to get into that fort. I wanna see you tragically fail.
I gotta burn it down little by little.
No, you don't. What do you mean you've got to? You do not have to.
No, okay. I'll try to do some stuff.
Filthy.
Where should I go though? I guess this gate here. You'll just cut me down, of course, right away.
Correct, yeah.
So it's not the smart thing to do, but I guess I'll do it for the views.
Yeah, if you're gonna burn down my entire village, you're gonna do it for the views.
I am principled. Don't ever say I'm not principled.
Thought it were a time of peace.
Yeah, I thought we were a time at peace, actually. I thought this was a time of peace. Ah, me too, buddy, me too.
Nice.
That is so many troops. You might actually break through.
I don't think
this
so.
is cool though that you're sieging down a town that I handmade.
Oh no! Men, stand your ground. No, I'm just gonna be cut down before I even reach the wall.
Destroyed.
They're not doing any damage, are they? No, they're not. Oh no.
Bro, you have done 0 damage to that wall. Go, boys, go!
Oh shit! Whoa.
It is so cool watching a siege from a town you built. I need to attack your town next. Guys, do you suddenly see why we have this big fort in the wall? The fort line actually was really strong.
It was, yeah.
Like I was thinking it was just like I did it because it looked cool, and then like it actually worked super well. Oh, I'm gonna have to get my bloody village back.
The first attack is over.
The first attack is over and failed. Yes! Yes! My boys! My boys! My brave boys! So many dead.
So many. Yeah, I mean, it just taught me that, you know, you need catapults.
You
and
need
siege
siege
weapons.
equipment, yeah, no, because you're just gonna lose every time.
Exactly.
My attack failed, but you better bet your bottom denarii I made a second attempt a few hours later, now with catapults. My several attempts made it clear that taking on a capital city would require a substantially larger force than the expeditionary forces I had amassed so far. But you know, I am determined that even if I need another 32, nay, another 33 expeditions to this obscure region, I am going to make it. One day. Dan and I temporarily buried the axe, but I did enjoy bullying him just a little with my fleet when he finally made it to Latium and tried to colonize an island I had had my eyes on for a long time. While the single-player experience of Anno is absolutely goated, the multiplayer experience supercharges the game's amazing foundations. You still have to manage the game like always, like I had to do when, lacking resources elsewhere, found the tiniest usable island I had seen, which just happened to have all the resources I desperately needed, like olives, rare minerals, and grapes for winemaking all in the same tiny place. But it all happens with that extra excitement of strategizing while others are doing the same, and we both got so addicted that we played about 11 hours in the past 24. It's also worth noting that Anno 1.17's multiplayer feature is crossplay, so you as a PC player, for example, can easily play with a console player and vice versa, and if you allow it, you can even hot join while your friend is playing. And remember, this is the full single player experience, but in multiplayer. It's an incredible system for an incredible game, and it's been a long time since I had this much fun gaming online. If you're interested in Anno or are already playing, I absolutely recommend trying the game out in multiplayer. Make sure to check out Anno 1.17 Pax Romana by following my link below. The game is available on PC, PS5 and Xbox consoles, and of course, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!